There's going to be a strong urge to burn some things down and start over, but you don't want to do that. You want to keep what works. This is about growth. This is about development. This is about building upon the foundation you already have that you know works for you. Hi, guys. My name's Corey. This is AuDHD Act 2, where we talk about things we can do today to better shape tomorrow. Today, I want to talk to you about change, about embracing change in a way that doesn't blow up your routines, but that kind of allows you to continue growing, not to be too rigid, too stagnant. So I am in the middle of the biggest change of my life, biggest overall period of change of my life. I am selling my house. I'm getting a divorce. I'm going to be sharing custody with my kids. So I'm moving. I'm going to have different people in and out of everything that is my routine, everything that is normal for me is being shaken up in some way, shape, or form, whether it be location, whether it be the people that are around me, all of those things. So what do you do when you have that much change, when you rely so much on routine and the world says, too damn bad, here's a whole bunch of change to deal with it? How do you move forward in a productive way that isn't just sabotaging yourself, that takes into account your biology and your specific mind, your neurodivergent mind? All right, so the first thing that I want to talk about is not burning everything to the ground. Don't destroy your routines. You're not starting over from scratch. We're never starting over from scratch. What you're doing is you're going to take the things that work for you and you're going to find a way to adapt them to the things that are changing. So you got to lose any kind of black and white mentality, any all or nothing mentality. There are absolutely sliding scales of all of the things you're doing. So you can adjust your energy level for this thing, or you can pull back on this thing because you know this thing is changing drastically and you just need more bandwidth. You will have to adapt. But you have to realize also that all of these negatives that you have in your mind about adapting, they're absolutely untrue. What you're going to find is that your skill set's going to evolve. It's going to grow and it's going to adjust. But you have to do it with intention. You have to know what's coming. You have to know that there will be times where your meter is very near the top, and you have to pay attention to that. So drop the black and white thinking and start looking for some middle ground until you can really set in roots with these new routines, until you're in your new location, until you're in your new routine. Work your way there, but don't think that because something has to adjust or change that it has to be lost entirely. That will kill you. That will destroy you quickly, that all or nothing mindset. And in that kind of same frame of mind, remember, there's no finish line. There is no such thing as I'm going to do this, be successful, and be done. Everything is adjusting over time, growing over time, continually evolving. So as long as you have that mindset and you know that there's not going to be a day of no challenge, there's not going to be a day where there's nothing to overcome, you'll be fine because you're going to come into the day realistically and you're not going to be blindsided by these things that you thought might disappear because of a milestone or a successful achievement or something. And you're also allowed to change your mind. What you are today doesn't have to be what you are tomorrow. So you've got to remember that this thing that you're going to become next is going to be a new evolution of you. This is a new version of you that's stronger in many ways. And yes, it will be different in many ways, but you're rebuilding. It's like the $1 billion man. You're rebuilding from the ground up, and you get to choose what to improve. And everything gets to either be where you were before or better. You don't have to don't burn anything to the ground. You should always be embracing this mindset that you are always becoming. You're always changing and always growing. Even if you stick to 95% of your day as a routine, that's fine. That 5% is going to be plenty. And it's a lot more than a lot of people are putting towards what's next. A lot of people, the goal is the couch and some Netflix. And if you're watching this, that's not you. So how do you actually put that into practice? Well, You have to prioritize your anchors. We kind of talked about that. You have to find the things that energize you, the things that feed you. There's a lot of things you have to do throughout your day, and some of them are necessary, but they don't actually really feed you back a lot. They may give you a tiny hit of dopamine for checking something off your list, but they're not as rewarding as other things. So you need to assess that about yourself, know where you stand personally, know what energizes you, know what drains you, and you have to really intentionally focus on those things right now at this time in your life. There's a lot of change going on, so you're going to need to lean into your foundational core activities that bring you balance. You're going to have to really focus on those. Those are going to be critical. So what are some examples of anchors? So obviously there's family. I'm going to be very much leaning into my kids and the relationship with my kids because a lot of my family relationships are changing right now. I have a good relationship with my wife, soon to be ex-wife. And I want to build on that. I want to have a friendship after this because she's an important person in my life. She's the mother of my children. But these relationships, all of these interactions are going to change. They're going to look different. They're going to be very different for forever. And I have to kind of lean into that. But having my kids and building these relationships, like they don't completely change. They just adjust. So I've got my family. I've also got my exercise, my fitness. So I am a very, very, very endlessly moving person, a fidgety person. I have to be moving. I have to. So I do 3 or 4 different, very short, like 10 to 15 minute workout sessions a day. And that does a lot for me. That anchors me. That brings me back from these thoughts of negative stuff, from this, dread and despair and all of these things that are natural part of grieving and moving on and beginning what's next. But that doesn't make them easy. They're still difficult. But anyhow, I digress. So the thing you have to realize with your anchors right now is that these are not going to be the exact same as before. Like I'm working out in different ways. I'm packing up my gym. I'm moving parts of it to a new location eventually. I'm doing all of these things that are changing, and yet I'm still getting an exercise. So that's kind of how you have to look at your anchors in these times of changes. They're an important part in what gets you through, but they're not going to be strict and rigid, and you can't expect that. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is just to prioritize peace over planning. So as you start looking at what's coming next, you're going to start having moments of, both dread and excitement. But the excitement's going to lead you to want to dive into planning, hyper planning, because it's going to give you little dopamine kicks because it's going to be all new things. So all this novelty is going to spike some dopamine. It's going to make you excited, but it's also going to lead you away from your anchors. It's going to make you want to really just deep dive down the rabbit hole of moving, of changing your routine, of your plan, of your daily life. All of these changes are going to take your time, and they're going to pull you away from those anchors. So the things that energize you, the things that keep you balanced, the things that allow you to kind of stay in that state of waking up with that green light that says I can do whatever I want to do, instead of that yellow light that says I'm a little bit tired, or the red light that says, hey, I'm burnout, I'm exhausted, I've been doing way too much. And if you keep planning and you skip your anchors, you're going to find yourself in that red condition fairly quickly. So despite all of the fun and enjoyment of planning what comes next in your life, which you should be excited about, it's important to be excited about that. It's a big deal, but it can't be everything. You have to remember to keep anchoring yourself in the things that you know work, the things that work for you, the things that help you feel better. Think about that it doesn't have to be black and white. Think that it doesn't have to be all new. You can't burn it all down and start over. There's going to be a strong urge to burn some things down and start over, but you don't want to do that. You want to keep what works. This is about growth. This is about development. This is about building upon the foundation you already have that you know works for you. So don't burn it all down. Take what works and adapt it. Adapt it to the new location. Adapt it to the new people that will be around. Adapt it to whatever you need to adapt it to, but don't drop the things that feed you. And make sure you're not sucked into that dopamine trap. Make sure that you keep on doing you. You're not a new person because your life is adjusting. You're not a new person because some changes happen. You're the same person with the same needs. Keep doing you and enjoy what comes next and enjoy getting excited about it and really dive into it, but not at the cost of all of the things that have gotten you to where you are now, all of your strengths, all of the things that feed you. We'll cut it there. I hope this was helpful for you guys. And if it was, please subscribe and like. I could really use some more subscribers. But thank you for joining me and enjoy your day.